Born in Winnipeg, cook and author Norene Gilletz grew up on what she calls Jewish K rations. Kugels, knishes, knedlach, kasha, kreplach?
Kreplach. You're doing really well.
Kreplach. That's why she is one of the experts on kosher cooking. However, anything food is her passion, and she is also a big fan of food processors. That's why she's written the new Food Processor Bible Revised. It is my pleasure to welcome Norene Gilletz to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Thanks, Fanny. It's wonderful to be here. Better than Calgary, where I came from with 20 centimeters of snow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, but you were born in the Peg.
I was born in the Peg, and I'm very used to cold weather. And snow.
And I'm sure you are. And a wonderful Jewish mother who cooked simple meals but could cook.
She could cook. She used her processor every day.
She did?
Yeah. She could make anything. She made noodles, and she made, she grated potatoes, and she would grind leftover chicken. She recycled leftovers. You know, she was very economical, had grown up in Europe, was born in Europe, and she just knew to save money, you did it yourself.
Yes. Who invented the processor?
Carl Sontheimer actually discovered it at a trade show when he was in France. I forget the name. Pierre, I forget his last name, had brought it, and it was basically for the food industry, and Carl Sontheimer discovered it, and he played with it, and he developed it for the home market, and the rest is history.
Well, I've often been to the P&E or someplace like that, to the fairs in the summer, and you buy a little slicer like a mandolin.
My mom had them all.
Everybody has a gadget.
Yeah, but this takes care of all of them.
No kidding. It's way more sophisticated than the old Cuisinarts.
This is a Cuisinart,
yes, but
this
it's
is
not
the new
like
one.
the old ones.
This is the new one, and this blade is probably the blade that does almost everything. You can puree, you can mince, you can chop, you can make cake batters, muffin batters, matzah balls, which are your knedlach.
Yeah.
It's for any type of cuisine. It's not particular to Jewish cuisine or Asian cuisine or Italian. It's just wonderful. I have to tell you, amazing.
Well, and accurate, I'm sure, and quick. Is that a steel blade? Must be.
That's the steel blade, and the new machines, the blade actually locks in, so when you dump out your batter, it doesn't fall into the cake pan anymore. And the new design also is very interesting. You never could tell whether you had to have the feed tube in the front or the back, so it now snaps on at the front. I love this machine.
No kidding.
And this is the feed tube. It's kind of oval.
Yes.
And so you add things. This is larger, and then there's kind of another one in here.
Very snazzy. So it takes you how long to make a coleslaw?
Oh, probably about 4 minutes.
I know in the book, the
Max.
new Food Processor Bible, you have a quick lasagna.
I do.
Not baked in there, but certainly.
No, but you do all your chopping, mincing, grating. All those techniques can be done. You can mince garlic. I put lots of vegetables into everything. There's a trend now to try to get more vegetables into your family, and I call it sneaky cuisine for the children. If I puree, it works out really, really well, and you can make things disappear. My son, when he was a little boy, used to say, "Mommy, I don't like those things. Put them in the processor and just make it all
I
gone."
see.
Make
it all gone.
Yeah.
Well, and we trick kids now with veggies, as you know, so you can throw
done.
veg into anything, a cupcake.
Well, you can. Actually, you can put zucchini cupcakes. They're fabulous. There's zucchini
And the
bread.
kids don't know.
Well, they like it. I once had a student who said to me that she had made zucchini cake, and her son said, "What did you make, Mom?" And she said, "That's zucchini bread." He said, oh no, she didn't want to tell him it was zucchini. She said, "Oh, it's got pistachios." And he says, "No, it's the green." He says, "That green must be mold if you made it, Mom. You're a terrible cook." But she never told him the zucchini was in there. Deny everything.
Of course.
Cook.
That is the rule in the kitchen. Deny, deny, deny.
Yes.
Now, does that have other blades that do
No.
that does fancier things?
Yeah, there's a slicing blade. The new slicing blade is amazing because it goes from 1 to 6 millimeters with a twist of the dial. So you don't need a thin, a medium, and a thick slicer anymore.
Really? So scalloped potatoes,
Nothing.
snap.
A snap. I mean, so fast. Onions, amazing. Potato pancakes. All kinds of vegetables.
Latkes.
Latkes. Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a favorite recipe in this book that is your birthday dinner or anything like that? Or the kids always want you to make old-fashioned peanut butter cookies or something?
Chocolate chip cookies, good old basic chocolate chip cookies. And I have a gluten-free version as well in there. I've done a lot of gluten-free because today's generation is asking for gluten-free. I listen to my audience. They ask, I try.
Sure, you sure do. And you have a trick for freezing I was reading about in here. 2 pie plates and you're freezing for the future? Where you put...
Oh, you put one in it where you freeze it. After it's frozen, you can basically slip it out. But if you line, the idea is to be able to invert it into another container, and so then you slip it back into its original pie plate or whatever container it was.
Okay, so you put foil in the pie plate.
Foil, either
then
foil
you put
or plastic, whatever you prefer to
whatever
freeze.
you prefer.
Yeah.
Take that out, freeze that, and then you have your pie plate back.
And you put it back inside, and it's in the right shape, and you have your plate free to use for other tricks.
Do you remember your first Cuisinart?
Oh, I remember it very well. It was puree of dinner for a month until I learned the magic. The new machines also have a pulse button, which is amazing. Very precise on-off buttons, of course. Some of them come with a dough cycle, which is slightly slower and wonderful for pizza yeast spreads. My grandson, one of my grandsons, loves pizza pinwheels, where I will make a pizza dough. It takes about maybe 20, 30 seconds. And that's it. And then spread it with sauce, grate the cheese, roll it up, slice like cinnamon buns, and put them on a stick, and you've got pinwheels for kids.
And your mom made good cinnamon buns.
My mom made the best.
I hear tell. Now, I doubt Mom ever made quinoa.
No, my mom did not make quinoa, but she ate quinoa, and she really liked it.
I really like it, too. It's good protein.
It's very high in protein, and you can sub other grains if you want. And here you could do it with wheat berries if you wanted to go very, very high fiber. This has got about 4 or 5 grams of fiber just in a
It
serving.
smells delicious. So
And
what's
very
in that?
versatile.
The quinoa cranberry salad, obviously quinoa, cranberries.
Right, and you have red peppers, and you have onion, a little bit of celery. You can change it around, some cranberries. If you wanted, you could put mango, dried apricots if you prefer. The dressing has got garlic and ginger. You drop it in through the opening here, through the feed tube, while the machine is running, so it catches the little pieces and helps them spin
Okay, so
outwards.
but tell me the process. You put the peppers and everything in there and go
Pulse, pulse,
zip,
pulse,
pulse, pulse,
Always
pulse.
pulse. Always pulse.
or
Otherwise,
you'd
you
have
will-
mush.
Yeah, but if you process something that you want to mince, like your herbs first, you can leave them in there and then add your pieces that you're going to chop. I don't like to wash a lot of dishes.
No, I'm with you there.
Good.
Yeah, use the
And-
good dishes.
and
Don't
you-
wash a lot of dishes.
And then I make the dressing, which is basically the garlic, the ginger, olive oil, a little bit of orange juice, or you can use mango or cranberry, and a little bit of honey and salt and pepper. You've got
So
it.
you can have 50 for dinner in a flash, can't you?
Maybe, if my house would be big enough. I'll
Okay.
bring them to your house. and
Okay,
we'll do
you can bring,
dinner
oh yeah,
there.
my big mansion, why not? What I know is that when you are cooking for a lot of people, to have something like this makes it so much quicker.
Well, I'm a very
And
flexible.
slice.
I'm a very flexible cook and very practical cook. So I cook with what I have on hand.
You're known as the queen of kosher.
They tell me that.
Yes, and what does that mean? I know Passover is coming up, so kosher means...
Kosher basically means cooked according to Jewish tradition. No milk and meat together. Is supervised by a rabbinical authority.
Right.
A kosher.
So does the rabbi have to bless the chicken anymore?
Yeah, they actually go
Still.
in and check the slaughter on how it's
Okay.
produced and that it doesn't come in contact with anything. It's very complicated, actually, and I do a lot of consulting in the kosher arena.
How great.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a food line which will be kosher. Which,
Kosher food line, so we don't have to think.
Yeah, well, people like the taste of home, and they don't always have the time or the energy. But I do recommend that people cook on the weekend. Soups are a fabulous way to get your food processor going because they're very forgiving.
Right.
You can chop everything up, throw it in. You can puree it out afterwards and freeze for another day.
Exactly, and you know, it's very trendy, well, you know, because you're an expert, but it's trendy now to have soups with pureed soups without the cream.
Yes, because the processor will actually make them velvety smooth.
Yeah,
A blender
with what?
act-
Chicken stock,
a little-
carrots, chicken stock.
Yeah, or you could use even a vegetarian stock. It's fine. And very often I'll just take carrots, onions, celery, a little bit of dill. It's my chicken soup without the chicken.
Okay,
And
but
that
when the
covers
spice
them.
is right, as you know, and you pulse it and it's smooth, you don't know there's not
No,
cream.
No, exactly. And so it's a good way to get good nutrition and easy cuisine, and that's what you want. You want
Sure.
you want to be able to do it quickly. We're starved for time today more than anything.
Well, I know you make a phenomenal cheesecake. I
Thank
think the
you.
recipe's in here, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you also
Oh,
make,
the
I couldn't
crostata.
tell if that was chopped liver or that is something sweeter.
You can do chopped liver, actually.
I bet you could in there.
And you could actually use this pastry dough to fill with chopped liver if you wanted to. But this is actually a ginger ale pastry. And you use
Ginger ale pastry.
ginger ale pastry. You take flour and either margarine. I like to use Earth Balance because it's a really good, like it's very similar to butter.
Right.
Cut it in chunks, process, pulse. Throw in either club soda or ginger ale through the feed tube, a little ginger ale, rather a little lemon juice or vinegar, just to tenderize the pastry, the proteins in the flour. And chill the dough. Roll into a big circle. If it's rough, if you can't roll really well, roll it on parchment. Slice your apples, mix them with some sugar or some sweetener. If you can do this for diabetics, keep the sugar down. Cinnamon, of course, and the crumble top is brown sugar, a little bit of flour, and a little bit of.
You'll have to protect this from the staff. You know that. You're going to have to slide it into your special basket. It'll be gone.
We will be happy to feed everybody.
Oh my gosh. Well, they'll invite you back.
Well, that's the idea.
You know that.
I'm always welcome. I always say happiness is a home-cooked meal. Happiness is eating out. So
No question. Yeah, making reservations. We like that too. But is Gourmania your website?
Gourmania.com. Gourmania.com.
Okay.
I'm crazy about food.
Okay, crazy about food. Food's your middle name. Gourmania, your website, so people can get more information, or they can buy the new Food Processor Bible, revised and updated 30th anniversary.
Yes, could you believe it?
No, I can't.
I can't either. I keep thinking I'm like 24. I can't believe that the book is older than I am.
Well, that's okay. It's all
Thank you.
good.
Thank you, Fanny.
Great watch.
Yes, Foodie Watch. Eat
Come
no fat,
on.
eat all fat, eat no carbs, eat,
Oh, too great.
watch what you eat.
Watch what you eat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Norene Gilletz, the new Food Processor Bible.